see. You there. Thank you. This working? Yes. Yes, working. Bump. Be-dee-dee. Loud. Okie day. To load. Hope everyone is doing well. Okay, I just realized that she changed the picture in our D&D group to, yeah, there. I'm still stuck on that one spot. Sorry? Oh. Hi, y'all. Waiting for it to load. I never finished going to look at the... Look, you asshole! uh, it's not gonna show the whole thing. Hold on. I'll send it to you, Bree. But my person is a bird person. You bitch. I'll just do it this way then. My person in D&D is a bird person. They're called Aarakocras. Right? That's how you say it? Chuck? Aarakocra, yeah. So that'll make sense. Can I put my stuff away? How do that? There's gotta be like a sheath weapon button. That's not the button I wanted, but okay. Abilities! I also have unspent points. Oh no. I got so used to playing Death Stranding with the right click being the back button instead of escape. Let's see. What is this? Survivalist. I accidentally did that once. The parry. Oh. Ooh, that would help. Steady shot, thank you. Companion points. Ah, that's where their points are. Okay, I would like you to take another point in this, please. Let's see. Hold on, what does it do? To regenerate health, it increases damage reduction. I like retaliation. Okie day! Yeah, we're supposed to go to... We're supposed to go to Paradis. Haven't gotten anywhere near there. So far I haven't seen anything that looks like this. Yet. Refer to significant writings found on your journey. Cool. Okay. Yep, we're not going back through that again though. Oh. Oh. Hmm. Okay, for right now that looks good too. Okay. Is chilly in here? Not as chilly as it was yesterday though, so I'll take it. Alright, and I'm assuming... Ah! I found the stash. Yay! Oh wait, no, I didn't want to do that. You got up a little while ago to check on the kiddo. Why didn't you do him then? I had even reminded you. Goober? Silly lady. I didn't want to do that. Almost gave myself food poisoning. I was trying to get rid of it. Like, you know, drop it. I did that already. Cool. Is that Missy snoring? Okay. Hello? Okay, there we go. Now it's working. There's Shiny over there. Oh, those are ghosty goos. Okay, so it's the green and purple together that gives you the most issue, right, Bree? Is it easier on the eyes with it being third person or first person? Is it better here? Or here? Okay. Third person is preferred. Alright, unless somebody tells me otherwise, we're staying on third person. Because both ways hurt my eyes equally. To be fair, he was kind of all up in my business the other day. Kai, you better learn how to move faster, buddy.
We make a good squad. In Rawatai, you don't abandon good supplies. I wonder what happened here.
I don't know. We will figure it out. I am glad that I don't have to count my arrows, because that's some bullshit sometimes. Speaking of counting arrows... I need to adjust my count. Oh, well... I need to adjust my count to my D&D characters' arrows. Because it doesn't do that for you.
That looks valuable. Want to do the honors and open?
Yeah. Unlock with the lockpick! You know, I said I didn't want to stream, and that I needed to. But now that I am actually gaming, I feel better. Bite me, asshole! I still hear shiny. Where is it? It might be up higher. Hold on. I heard it. Is the game sounds are too quiet for you guys, isn't it? You do indeed. Woo! I knew I was gonna do it. Kai, come on, buddy. Those phantoms are loud. Ooh.
The living land is scattered with old Parkrunan ruins like this. Good builders and explorers. Now, the last of them live in an old keep in Galloway's tusks. Some seem to take kindly to settlers. One for you! Oh, no, you don't!
You're right, it didn't. Oh, there's another one. Where is he? Yellow? Ow. Oh, that's why. Get him, Kai! Stop that. Ooh. Woo-hoo-hoo. Get that one. We done now? Ooh, where? Is it bugged? That would suck. Unless I'm just like really missing it. Nope, I wasn't missing it. It was under. And now we get to go back around. I probably should have finished exploring up here first. Considering there's a trap that we gotta go through again. I was hoping. Yep. Oof. Good. You need the stuff. TM. On the third night, Ivana came to a towering cliff where the sheer, jagged precipice forbade all who might pass. Her pickaxe glanced off the surface, and when she threw her rope, it fell back to the ground and found nothing to latch onto. The wall is high, Ivana lamented, and lit her torch as a prayer against the encroaching dusk. I cannot climb, but my path cannot end here. Your path has led you here to challenge you, Magrin said, in a voice that seemed to emanate from the flame itself. The stone before you is the same as the stone you stand upon. Your footing will find the way. So Ivona knew what she must do. Interesting. I want inside. There's things inside. Exploding things doesn't always work, though. I gotta go around. Probably. Exploding things doesn't always work. I had the right idea, the wrong spot. Boots of the Bricklayer. Ooh, interesting. Hello? Pick that up, thank you. In older lands, it was said, to know the world, first make a map of it. To know the cavern, make a model of it. To know the soil, grow a garden of it. I was giving Pops some shit because my character is the bird person. Feels like he's making fun of the bird person. Now it is written in blood, you shall not mistake a model or a map for the maxim, which is the truth manifest in the world. You shall not reduce the great to the grubby miniature. You shall not mistake the drain hole for the maelstrom. The taste of blood is that which seems clear on the map is tangled in the maxim. Ivana snuffed the torch and stepped onto the nearby ledge, and her humble walking boots found a foothold upon the moss. She mustered her courage and reached for the outcropping above her head. Proceeding step over step, hand over careful hand, with the last of her strength, she reached the top of the mighty cliff, then turned and watched the last of the sun slip under the waves. I don't understand, Ivana thought aloud again. How did I know where to climb? Only heroes can do such things. Was your mother not a bricklayer? Magrin asked. Yes. Did she not scale walls of your great keep? Of course she did. Then that is how you knew. Triumph does not come to those born to a greater purpose. It comes to those willing to use the tools they were given. I just glitched through that one. Okay then. Goodies. Kai, honey. Thank you. Whee! Whee!
Hey, that looks like a totem to your burned queen. Looks like that broke off of something. Wonder where it goes.
Where would it go? I mean, it was picked up by a bird, obviously. Because it's in a nest. Right? Whee! Oh, hi Kai. I'm trying to find the quickest way down that's not going to injure us. I don't want to go back through the, Oh, that's gonna hurt. Owie! Ow. I broke my ankles. Okay. We did the uppies. That was fun. Anything this way? Is there anything in the pot? Yeah, no. The pot has nothing. I explored down there already. I'll be honest, it was easier to see when it was dark.
The so-called godless people disappeared centuries ago, but left plenty of ruins to remember them by.
Some of the ruins are really pretty. Woo! Each item and enemy has a quality tier. Na-ni-na-ni-na. Okay. There must be a rare dude up there. Probably the one that could see me. Oh, these are actual people. Oh. Bad rogue. Ooh, you bitch. I thought Kai had you. Oop. Ooh, you're a caster. Ow, you bitch. Fall over. We good?
Good fighter.
Yeah, we've already gone over that. Picked up a couple of unique items yesterday. Loot the dead! They don't need it. I'm actually starting to need the health potions now. Of course, if I actually ate the food that I had, I probably wouldn't have that much of a problem. Wrong button. F. Wrong button. Again. You call them the godless, but like, their stuff is so pretty and grown, like, carved with nature. How could they be? Well, I'm glad we cleared out the bandit camp. That looks like a suspiciously up spot. Yay for uppies! This game definitely makes you want to look around to do the uppies a lot. Okay, but where is this leading us to? Where are we going? Where are we going? We're not going to town, that's for sure. The Rise. I'm sorry? Oh, more of the lizard guys.
One for you!
Only two. Cool.
Locals call this the Pilgrim's Path, but no one really uses it anymore. Show me what you got.
Oh. I ran out of breath or concentration. Level up, yay. That's a really pretty view.
Great view, isn't it? You can even see Fort Northreach in the distance. Oh, too soon.
The slim volume is warped and water-stained. A quick flip through the pages reveals that it was diligently updated for 7 years. Its last entry is dated 2828, the year of Eothas's return. 2821, season of nesting birds. After 27 hours of difficult labor, I am the mother of a coral pink squall of a girl. I will call her Mata, after my mother's sister, who was carried away from us on Amira's wings last season. May she have something of her spirit as well as her name. 2823, season of sun showers. Anaru presented Mata with the fishing pole, the harpoon, and the basket this morning. How anxious I was that she should choose the harpoon and spend the hot seasons away at sea, or the fishing pole and be fettered always to the town, or the basket and spend her life climbing trees. But sweet Mata turned her back on all of them and crawled into her father's lap. She will be as her father is then, a healer, and stay always near to me. 2826, season of ripening koiki. Last night Mata told her first story. It was a tale of a mighty war parrot who fought fearlessly in many battles against the terrible Naga. But though he was a great warrior, he'd always wanted to explore the islands, so when his mother wasn't looking, he flew to the top of the serpent's crown in Neketaka. He saw all the way to Hasongo. The sky went on forever, but he became scared of the heights and called for help, and his mother, the queen of the war parrots, came to rescue him. From then on, he was happy to remain a warrior. Great Aunt Mata once told me a similar tale when I was a foolish young girl determined to climb the tallest koiki tree in the village. Perhaps there is something of my old aunt's soul in my daughter after all. 2828, Season of Churning Waves. A dread storm cloud sits heavy on the horizon, and small tremors shake the sand. But my girl is not disturbed. Tonight she leads the children in a performance of Nagati's Kraken Dance, as taught to us by the young women from Mage Island. We made her bracelets and anklets from shells we collected on the beach together, and she wove her skirt herself. As we near the season of her birth, I remember how, when I first quickened, I told Anaru I was afraid. It is strange to look upon this tiny mind now and think I may have never known her. How strange this life of mine, how generous the gods. So sweet.
If you traveled weeks to see it, you can wait a few more days.
Kara, you would not be so glib if your family's souls were crying out to you for justice.
Some crusty old priest isn't going to change that.
Hello?
The Temple of Aethys is closed. Ugh, I don't know why everyone in the Living Land suddenly wants to see the old coop in there, but it's not happening. Not today, anyway. Probably not tomorrow either. Not with the way they're dawdling.
Since when do you make the rules?
Since I arrived with the big sword.
So you say I need a bigger sword. The Oracle has one. Let me in and I will borrow it.
I'm saying you need to go home because the goddamn temple is closed.
Are you two done?
Why do you give a fuck? Oh shit. Oh shoot. Oh drat.
Idiot. You do not recognize your Emperor's favorite dignitary? If you are smart, you will have her relieved. She is terrible at her job, I say.
I'll take it under advisement.
Hikara. So you will do nothing, just like your friend here.
Will you give it a rest?
Why can't she enter the temple?
Kara, an excellent question. Holy One, please. I say you must make her see reason.
As I've told Kalia here, there's a venture underway inside. The Free Expedition Corps is exploring a cave system that holds a temple of Aethys. There's an old man in there, calls himself the Oracle. I guess he's got something they want. And uncouth pilgrims will only get in the way.
Your expedition has been gone 3 days, Sejuan. I say they are dead.
I'd like to see the temple for
You will
myself.
let her go and not me. I see.
Who said I was letting her go?
Be reasonable.
Well, my orders say no one.
Hikara. Yes. Tell the envoy about your precious orders. I could recite them in my sleep.
Please don't make me bring this back to the ambassador.
Right. Sorry, envoy. The expedition team entered through the cave just past here. They planned for a day's journey, but they've been gone for more than 3. Something must have held them up. Our freak mentioned traps and earthquakes and...
The oracle who maintains the temple is a godlike of Aethys, so there is no telling what he is capable of.
They were carrying a lot of tools and weapons with them, so be on your guard.
Sounds about right. Excellent. I love a challenge.
Well, you'll certainly be hip deep in no time. Good luck.
Just randomly finding the direct opposite way to go except for the way we're supposed to be going. Immediately. Yes, my dear? Ooh. Wait, I didn't even know Minecraft had foxes. When did they add foxes? Hey, babe. Are you feeling drinks for a little while? Or not tonight? I didn't put very much in our cups. I put my standard amount. Which doesn't generally get either of us buzzed if we're sipping it for 2 hours. Do you want to get a buzz? Link it to me, I want to see. Hold on. My nails have been trying to come off for like 4 days. The first 3 on both of my hands and my thumbnails have been holding on with like a breath. Oh, what are you? Electric lily seed. Oh, okay.
That spear looks adherent, all right. Guess we're on the right track.
Uh-huh. Bubblefish? Essence generators. Okay, so that's shock damage. Do we have anything that does shock? Not yet, I don't think. Do I? Link me the things! Electric lily seed. I have 2 of those. Oh, I can't see. There it is.
That's it. Door's open.
That one's broken. Okay.
Get the line. They've seen us. This one's mine. On your right. This one's mine. Now we know why the expedition team abandoned that puzzle. Another glorious battle.
That puzzle wasn't even that hard, though. Like... Come on, guys. It's a book! Ednung, the bright star, spoke, and her voice was like a clarion cry, calling his soul forth. He knew her for the right hand of the shining god, and was afraid. Oops. O wanderer, hear me, she spoke. You are known to us, and your deeds put you far from salvation. And he wept, for he knew that his sins lay bare before this great illumination. Then Sargemus spoke, and his voice swept forth with the heat and force of the bright day's sun. Weep not, for the child of light has forgiveness, even for you, if you will embrace him. Harmka knelt before them, then resolved to save himself, and asked what he must do. As Mogadon spoke, and Mogadon spoke, her voice was like the songbird's final hymn, bidding farewell to the day's light. What darkness lies within you, you must cast into his light. Your sins will be burned from you until you are newly formed, reborn into his keeping. So spoke Modegund, but Ednung warned him, saying, You have walked all these years into darkness and must now return. You will find the path like treading fire, and every step you will be tempted to turn away, but no harm will come to you if you keep your faith. I was feeling an awful... I mean, it is a religious... It's a temple, so it makes sense. Okay, what is a bubblefish? Hold on. Adorable. The Minecraft Fox Nightlight is adorable. What is a bubblefish? Oh, those things! My god, I haven't seen one of those in forever. Babe! I have... Do you remember these things? How long ago was that? Yeah. I remember those from the early 90s. Oh, that's cool. Like, show me a video of this stupid thing. It doesn't show a video of the Ender Portal lamp. I'm assuming it does similar things that the um bubblefish do. Okay. I just wanted to see if I could go in there. Can I have more? No. I'm gonna take the spear. Mom. Oh, I get it now. So the little icon in the... right here? Um, means I can't teleport out. I didn't realize that before.
Views like this remind me why I came to the Living Lands in the first place.
Isn't it so pretty? Oh, hello. Something stirs here. Interesting. Actually, I wanted to look that up. Hold on. Let's see. What was it? Do 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 do. No. I went to IMDb this, please. Thank you. I want to look up, see who the voice actor is for The Voice. It, okay. Matthew Mercer is in it. Baby. Avowed. Eh. It's a really pretty view, though. Ooh, goodies. I almost missed them. Grenades. I have a lot of these. So we're just gonna put regular grenades for now. Bonk. Excuse me.
Blood and a broken tripwire. Someone got clumsy.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm standing where the blood and broken tripwire is. Okay. That someone was almost me.
Look at that. That statue. How did anyone build that all the way down here?
Rituals, whispers of searing light.
That's pretty. Well. Very dwarven, actually. It's pretty.
Zorps. Want to sneak a fight? Nice! You're mine now!
Okay, nobody else that I can see at the moment. 15 enemies using stealth of some sort. Nice. I don't want that. Well, that's where they came from, for sure. I'm glad I came back. In the ass. All the things. Give me all the thingies. Oh, that was another way around. Okay. I mean, I knew it was another. That just randomly popped up. Okay, well. There's shinies over there. Carl, I don't know why I'm leaning forward. Leaning forward makes it even blurrier. Carlod, I can find no more use to put my talents in our pitiless land, so I must go. The water freezes, I create art from it. The water melts, my art dissolves. The water freezes again. This cycle once brought me peace. I looked upon my work and was comforted by its impermanence, and in the impermanence of all things. I took comfort in Remirgan's promise of the end. But even then the ice carver is not impervious to the cold, and the new wind that blows from the north, from Yukaizo? From the cracks in the in-between, chills me to my bones. There is something wrong in the world, Loda, and not even your bright smile can set this cycle to rights. Ahead to the living lands, the vitality that fled my art is gathering there, condensing. Now a new chill rises in the land. A great conflict is coming. Ah, you little bitch! I wasn't done with that. A great conflict is coming and our master will need his harbingers at his side. If Vatnir returns, tell him to come. But, my love, I beg you, do not follow us. To serve our God most faithfully, I must believe you're still alive. Leski. Hippity hoppity. Oh, shit. Ouch.
Hold it together, kid. We're nearly there.
Daily affirmations of focus and efficiency. All errors can be reforged into lessons. Abaddon rebuilt himself from ruin. No setback is insurmountable, not even death itself, so long as the soul is dedicated to the task. Work hard, work well. Abaddon demands only honest labor and forthright service. All errors can be reforged if your first intentions are pure. All ignorance can be reforged into knowledge. Master your craft, excel at what you have been trusted to do. Do not offend your teacher by remaining a student forever. Each generation must forge its successors. Teach your trade to all who are willing to learn, and in doing so multiply the fruits of your knowledge. All difficulties can be reforged into triumphs. Meet strife with humility and acceptance. Let adversity temper the ingot of your will, and you will never shudder. Embrace your station, fulfill the duties of your rank, and meddle not in the affairs of your betters. All guilds fail at their weakest link. All loss can be reforged into strength. Profitable work heals all emptiness, so long as you have the tools of your trade, you will always be able to forge wealth anew. Value the works of others, and they will value your works in return. Share the harvest with the hungry, and your tools with the destitute. All souls can be reforged into whatever we will. Hard work is not exclusive to life. Death is no time for complacency. Commit yourself to excellence in this cycle and the next. This is a don't touch the water situation here. Ouch. It's a pressure plate. Can I disarm that? Because that really hurt. Okay. Cadman, hello.
I got to be dreaming. Oh gods, am I dead? Is this the Beyond Spirit? Have you come to take me to Gallowayne's side?
The kid's in bad shape, but he's not too far gone. I think we can help him.
I'm not ready. I've never even touched a girl. It's not fair.
Let's get you back on your feet. Wait, yeah.
Oh, God, that's wretched. Are you sure you're not trying to kill me?
That's just the medicine working. And look, you're halfway to lucid. And your wounds are closing up.
Oh, wow. I feel leagues better. I thought for sure you were coming to take me back to the wheel. Who are you? What you doing down here?
Are you with the Expedition Corps?
Free Expedition Corps out of High Crown. Yeah, that's us. Well, that's me anyway. The rest of those assholes went on without me after I got hurt. We'll come back for you once we've got the relic, Cadman. Honest. Horseshit. Yeda was probably hoping I'd croak so she wouldn't have to tell our freak how she abandoned me. All she cares about is that Oracle and his relic, which is probably just a big old dog bone if you ask me. It's probably still down there, fiddling with the statue. You must have seen it on your way in.
I did indeed. Anything I need to know about the Oracle?
I doubt I know much more than you do. I mean, you're godlike, just like him.
Come on, kid. Don't get starstruck now.
Well, he's touched by Aethys, right? And he's supposed to be old, like hundreds of years old. And I don't mean elf old, he's extra old, like Aethys has been keeping him alive or something.
Great. He's old. Anything else?
They used to receive pilgrims, but only the ones who could make it in. This place, it's like a trial.
Yeah, we've seen the same traps and crumbling buildings you have.
And he's building something. A statue of Aethys, I think. But I don't know what for. I mean, after what Aethys did in the Deadfire, people don't come here anymore.
Tim Elgott about Gera?
Our
Jada?
captain, she's... I don't know. I don't want to talk out of turn.
Relax. You're not the first person to have a bad commander.
It's not like that. I mean, it didn't used to be. Yeda's not been quite herself lately.
Yeda.
I've always known her to be cautious, careful. Now she charges forward recklessly. And she pushes us as hard as she pushes herself. And that's how I got hurt.
Has she been short-tempered? Distracted?
Yeah? And when we make camp, she has these terrible dreams. Wakes us all up with her screaming and muttering.
Can't be sure, but it sounds like the dream scourge to me, Envoy.
I'll go speak to this Oracle then.
Be the last one to have seen him, I bet. I'll just rest up here a minute before I head back to Paradise.
Take it easy. No sense getting yourself into another scrape.
Promise, I'll take it slow. Hey, Envoy, for what it's worth, I really thought I was gonna die down here.
Given the extent of your injuries, you certainly would have.
It's a lucky thing you found me then.
See you back in Paradise, kid.
Right,
Cadman.
yeah. You got those assholes to save and everything. I hope they're better off than I was.
Alcohol. Okay.
Seems like a good kid. Glad we could give him a hand. Maybe one of Juliana's girls will too. So, the kid said the expedition team went deeper, looking for the Oracle. I say we head after him.
Yes, but a moment, if you will, my good sir. Actually, a moment for us as well. I need more drink. Okay. Cat wants to share a chair, so she is sitting behind me. Thank you, Beppy. Meter. Yep. Okay, and then this way. There was a ladder. Good night. Am I? I shouldn't be sitting on you, am I? I am not. Okay, good. I wasn't sitting on her. She's just not happy that I made her squinch back to the back of the chair. But since she got down, and I'm adjusting my feet. Yay! Inquisitor's request. Captain Jada, the relic you seek is but one of many thorns in the rotten heart of this land. Claim it for Adir, and should its efficacy be confirmed, you will be appropriately rewarded. Inquisitor Lodwin. Okay.
Didn't realize the head of the Steel Garrote was into antiques.
Right? Keep thinking this bridge is gonna be a trap too.
I see someone. Be ready for anything.
Yep.
My sister. Can it be? Come, stand in the light. Let me look at you.
Hello.
It has been too long. I had feared I was the last of us. But you... Oh, the very sight of you is a balm for the soul. I am the Oracle Sargemus, servant of the once shining god. He whose light has lately dimmed. What brings you to this sacred space?
Um. You know what? We're just gonna work our way down. You named yourself after one of the early figures in Ethiopian scripture?
Then
Ethiopian?
Sargemus spoke,
And
and his voice swept forth with the heat and force of the bright day's sun. Weep not, for the child of light has forgiveness even for you, if you will embrace him. I am that same Sargemus. Though it has been some time since a man has knelt before me and begged absolution, as Harmka did. The people do not hold to the gods any longer. and they do not hold to their servants.
He's the same dude in the thing that we read about.
We live in a time of disbelief. The gods are absent, and have recalled their gifts from the world. Avarice reigns. Acquisition is the faith to which all men bow. But perhaps there is hope. You have read the Book of Verses, and we are here together, if only briefly. In this moment, we are not entirely alone.
I found fancy DM guy. Hmm. Did you build the statue?
Indeed. It has been my obsession these last few years. Hewn by my own hands from stone in Ardra, and no small degree of melancholy. I suspect it will be my last great labor before this body is returned to the earth, and I am returned to my god.
Are you dying? Well, I mean, he just said that he was dying. Why a statue?
And not a library. A clinic. Something that might bring a greater good into this benighted world. I leave such projects to the children of Helia, Margarine, even Wal in their way. No. The statue is what my lord deserves. A graven image for a remorseless god. Cold as winter light, distant as the tallest peaks of the White March, fit only for he who stares at history and does not blink.
Fair. I was told you're exceptionally old. Is that true?
What an impertinent question.
I mean,
Indeed, my soul has dwelled in this form for centuries, beyond even the lifespan of the longest-lived elf. My lord Aethys inspired my birth in the same year the kingdom of Adir was founded. You might say my birth heralded the empire you now serve.
must have witnessed some unbelievable things.
Many, yes. Some that inspired awe, others dread.
What, Mew Mew?
For a time, I proselytized among the colonists who first settled Glanfath.
Oh, I know why she's
I
complaining.
held the door of my parish church against an onslaught of Glanfath and
Hubby's
raiders,
not in bed.
and I watched them fall prostrate before my light. I tended the wounded in the broken stone war, the war of black trees, the war of defiance, and in many wars that were never given the dignity of a name, and since have been forgotten. I can hardly recall them anymore.
You spent a long time in the Dryerwood. What made you stay?
The Deerwood has
Deerwood.
been a troubled place since the very moment of its inception. Conflicts erupted as regularly as spring flowers, to bloom and die as swiftly. So, there is always some dark corner in need of light, if you'll indulge me in the metaphor. Truthfully, I had been jailed for proselytizing in Colklin, and it was to the colonies I was exiled. So it was the Deerwood or death. I had nowhere else to go.
Did you ever meet Saint Latin?
Is that what they're calling him now?
I take it
I
you
heard
did.
the man that was Widewin speak when he was but a farmer. He had a presence even then, furious, incandescent. It was astonishing, his power. I wonder, had my lord already made a home in his body by then? Did my lord share with Widewin his plans to wage a pointless, bloody war while wearing the poor man's face? What a grave injustice, to have your body stolen and be made into a saint. Tragic, Widewin. pitiable, Widewin. I grieve for what became of him.
Do you wish it would have been you who was made a saint?
God help me. I do.
That was over 600 years ago.
About 630, yes. Give or take a decade. One does lose count.
This sounds very callous, but why haven't you died yet?
That is a question for my lord. I have asked him many times, but even when he spoke to me, he would not say. I suspect it is his essence that has kept me alive. And now that he has abandoned this world, well, I soon expect to die.
Aethys talked to you?
In prayer, in dreams, as I ate and loved and labored, his voice was a constant murmuring in my ear. But when I spoke to him, he never did reply. So, do not mistake his talking for a conversation. He only wanted to be heard.
Are you afraid to die?
Not anymore.
Why would you tell me all this?
Because you are my sister. And I want someone to know.
That's fair. I heard there was a temple of Aethys in this cave.
Be welcome, for you have found it. People like you and I once sought this place in moments of spiritual turmoil, when the world and our souls could not find rest. Moments of war, famine, massacres, when those such as us are called upon to speak the gods' wills and to lead. But I have seen not one of us these last 3 years, and it is rare indeed that pilgrims come to pray. Perhaps our meeting now is the work of immortal hands. I pray that it is so.
Why would godlikes visit this temple and not temples of their patron god?
Godlike. Such a meager word for us, who are the gods' eyes and ears and hearts. We are the phenomena through which the gods experience the world. We are as like the gods as a finger is like a man. You and I and our raptured brethren, we are the gods themselves.
That's all very poetic, but it doesn't answer the question. Is this place special to godlikes?
It had been once, when we were Legion, but no longer.
We were Legion
kind
before.
Came here to find fellowship and understanding, in a world determined to bend us to its purposes.
I wondered what the purpose the Emperor had in naming me his employee. Why should we need a fellowship?
Consider a child of Rimagond. Yoked to the Oryx will, they are born already in decay. They are divine lepers, revered and reviled both. Their burdens are immeasurable, but they have been touched by the divine, so their gifts are as well. Only those like us can truly understand that balance, its agonies and its ecstasies.
Didn't I ask this already?
I am as you are, though I do not care for the word. Aethys the Dawn Treader is my lord and patron. If you will forgive me saying so, I am surprised to meet you here. Even before the vanishing of our kind, it had been some years since a child of Galawain came to speak with me.
Who?
And I have never seen a member of the Lord of the Hunt's coterie whose visage resembles yours.
That's because I'm not a god like Gallowin.
Ah, of course. I should not have assumed. I have had the great privilege to speak with thousands of our kind during my long life. And you do not resemble a single one of them. But if not Garlawain, I cannot imagine who else among the Pantheon might have blessed you.
Truthfully, I don't know.
My relationship with my lord has oftentimes been the one succor through difficult seasons of my life. I hope that when you find your patron, it is the same for you. May I ask, as a god's child, did your earthly parents love you?
I believe they cared for me in their way.
Even many kith untouched by gods are not so lucky.
Why did the gods banish godlikes from the world?
There are many theories, which the holy and learned of Eora have only just begun to argue. But you did not ask me for theories. Frankly, I do not know for certain. However, I believe the gods are preparing for war.
A war against each other?
A war of all against all. A struggle between destiny and design. Who yokes the soul of the world? Whose machinations turn the wheel? Who acts and whom is acted upon? That is the ultimate power, sister. The only power there is. To decide the fate of another, and to make it so. For so long as we have lived, it is the gods who have decided for us. But change is possible, if we are brave enough to want it. And kith have lately grown very brave indeed.
That sounds menacing. I've been hearing a voice in my head since I arrived on the island. Could it be my god?
I suppose it's not impossible, but the gods typically make themselves known to us in our earliest days, before we have left the comfort of the womb. They are present in our hearts and mind before, well, before we even have a notion of I at all. I'm sorry. Yours is an unusual case.
At least he's honest.
Tell me, this voice in your head, do you want it to be your god?
If it's not my god, I don't know what else it could be.
Other than a symptom of madness, you mean?
Yeah.
You do not seem especially troubled. No more than any kith subject to life's uncertainties. As to what the voice is, if it is unlikely to be a god, I cannot say. It may be a particularly powerful soul attempting to control you, or the echoes of a past life. Perhaps it is the sending of an archmage, or some ancient construct of Engwithin make. Or it may just be the beginnings of the Dream Scourge. Whatever this voice is, I suspect only an expert in souls can say.
I'm looking for an expedition. Did they pass this way?
An expedition? I'm afraid I don't understand.
An expedition? You know, treasure maps, matching outfits, campfire songs, the works.
I am familiar with the concept, tomb raiding and the like. What troubles me is why they would come here. These ruins are not so different from the many others on this island, except that they are a good deal more treacherous. And this representation of Aethys we stand before, it is the work of my own hands. They could not hope to move it. Do you know what their purpose is here?
Do you really expect me to believe you haven't seen them? There's only one way through this place.
It's a reasonable question, I'll grant you. You must understand, this place has seen so few visitors for so long that I often retreat into my private quarters. To read, you understand, or pray, or sleep. Age has made me slow. I tire easily. I sleep now more hours than I wake. They could have already come and gone, and I would be none the wiser. In any case, you haven't told me what it was they searched for. Or do you not know?
They were searching for a relic you're rumored to keep here.
Ah, the splinter of Aethys. I suppose it was too much to hope they were here to examine these exquisite ruins. Truly, it is their loss.
Where do you keep the relic? What is the relic?
The splinter of Aethys is a sliver of shin bone from my lord's titan body. It was carved from his skeleton many centuries ago. Yet long after the gods left this mortal world to claim their dominion in the beyond, the splinter is infused with the very essence of my lord's power. To illuminate without fire, to heal without injury, and to speak without voice.
Where do you keep it? I might find them there.
It rests in a shrine deep within this temple complex, beyond the reach of looters, visitors, or indeed, myself. The path to the relic has fallen to ruin. Some sections are flooded, and others are infested with all manner of creatures. Although, perhaps you might assist me with that.
Are you gonna come with me?
If you're about to ask us to tidy up, think again. My place is a much bigger mess.
Oh no. I had something far grander in mind. You see, this construction beside us is no mere statue, but a reliquary I have built to house the splinter of Aethys in its appropriate grandeur. It is nearly complete, and ready for the splinter to be interred. But I can no longer reach the relic on my own.
Yes, you said.
Return it to me, and who knows, perhaps you will meet your expedition along the way.
I'm gonna poke around here first. I'm being honest,
Take
at least.
all the time you need. And please refrain from touching my statue or devices.
I don't want to touch any of those,
May light illuminate your path, sister.
but I do want loot. My fingers feel naked. So we gotta go that way. Feels like this is a jumping point, just woo-wee! Woo-wee! Sargemus, it has been some time since you last correspondence, and I do hope that you're still well. Have the materials and spare equipment for my lab proven reliable. You know how temperamental and finicky old equipment gets. I swear these machines have souls of their own. But I digress. I'm looking forward to hearing the latest news about your progress. I have no doubt that the completion of your project will change the world, and knowing you, it will certainly be for the better. That I have had a part to play in this fills me with deep joy and satisfaction. Perhaps one day they shall write about us. I can see it now, the Oracle and the Visionary, a titillating tale of two thinkers and their thoroughly thought-provoking theories. On second thought, perhaps simply the Oracle and the Visionary will suffice. Eagerly awaiting a response, your friend Vitor. P.S. It is good that I forgot to send this after it dried. Ulrask would be very cross with me if I did not relay once more that he is, and I quote, rather looking forward to giving Sargmus's oversized animate a proper thrashing if he ever gets functional. Oh, that Ulrask. Until next time, my friend. I'm gonna look in your bedroom. Okay, that was a roundabout. Pool of constantly clean water. I hear you.
This reminds me of the Strangle Root. But how is anything this big growing all the way down here?
I don't know. This clay tablet is inscribed with a flowing vertical script in a language you've never seen before. There we go. That was the wrong one anyway. Stop that. Okay, so I can't switch those that way.
Hey, Shepard.
Cool. I found the whole ass library. Yay! Ad break. The writing in this tome is dense and spidery, and it advances across the page at a sprint, as if the author's pen had been enchanted with a spell for Celerity? C-E-L-E. Huh? Did I say it right, though? Okay. Whatever muse ensorcelled it will never be revealed, however, for the book's fragile pages swiftly disintegrate in your hands. Damn. A history of the living lands. In the ruins of Uzaiko, the great city of the ancient Huana in the Deadfire, I once found a curious inscription. The inscription was written in 3 languages and arranged in a circle around a small pool of water. 2 of the languages were unknown to me. The first of these scripts was largely runic, rounded and orderly, and looked like it was meant to be painted rather than chiseled into stone. It put me to mind of the architecture of Ingwith, with its frequent arches and odd conjunctions of angles. The other language branched off one long stem. This one was curious. At first I thought I was meant to read it left to right, but the characters' shapes didn't have a flow that felt intentional. It wasn't until I tilted my head that I understood I was attempting to read it on its side, and that I was instead meant to read it from top to bottom and likely right to left. Fascinating. I have seen nothing like it in all of Aora. The third of the scripts I recognized. It was near ancient Huana, a language I'd studied idly in my youth. I had been obsessed with its more logographic predecessor, far ancient Huana, for many years. What a pleasure at last to see something I knew. After a few hours of meditation, I recall enough of the alphabet to take a stab at a transcription. I will read the translation. Wingaru o Waturi, king of Ukaizo, the king of kings. It has the cadence of a dedication. Could this last inscription be the key to deciphering the 2 other unknown languages? True stories from the living lands. I have to sneeze. I don't get to sneeze. Only the hardiest of explorers would dare take the long, dangerous trek to the living lands, while there is no end denying. Wow. End isn't even near any of that. While there is no denying its beauty, the diversity of plant life alone is an herbologist's dream. The inherent risk in blithely trekking through these pristine hills is more than most should undertake. Ugh. That sneeze is still sitting there. Ah, damn it. Let me take a moment to tell you about the land itself. Rolling hills, greenery, and sun. The whole area feels like a succession of hills and valleys, each with its own ecosystem. While the declaration is a tad extreme, it can almost be said to be true. The combination of sun, geographical location, proximity to fresh water, valley depth, and the existence of hot springs has given the living lands a wide breadth of flora and fauna. Walk down a hillside into a valley and you will find lush, verdant hills. Climb the next rise and you might see nothing but rock and boiling mineral springs. And the creatures. In my travels I've seen it all, and this place never ceases to amaze me. Trolls. I will never forget my encounter with the trolls of the living lands. I had just narrowly avoided being consumed by a giant plant, more on that later, and was running as fast as I could to get away from it. I broke the crest of the hill, and the valley below was wide, green, wet, and covered with low, thick-branched trees. Vines grew everywhere. Between the trees, across the tops of them, down to the ground, It was a mess of vine and green. Cautiously, I worked my way down towards the basin, keeping an eye out for anything suspicious. And it's a good thing I did so. I noticed not all the trees appeared to be trees. I froze, dropping onto the ground in an effort to minimize my appearance. One of the trees moved, lumbering slowly away from the cluster. It's then that I realized it was a troll stepping out from among the group of trees it had been resting against. With a few more steps, I would have walked right into their home. The camouflage these trolls exhibited far exceeded any I had ever seen before. I hope to return again in the future and observe them more. And the insects. While I have never seen them, I have read reports of giant insects in the living lands. Centipedes, flies, mosquitoes, and hornets, all 10 times the size you would see them elsewhere. Imagine making camp. You've just gotten everything set up. There's a nice fire going next to your shelter. Something is gently simmering in the cooking pot. You sit down, finally feeling like you can relax after a tiring day. You feel a tickling at your feet, insistent and prolonged. Reaching down to brush whatever it is away, your hand comes in contact with something hard, long, and flexible winding its way around your boot. You look down to see a centipede the size of your arm casually making its way over your feet toward the far side of your camp. You would get out of that camp, wouldn't you? It's exactly what my friend did when he realized he had started his fire over a centipede nest. Nyeh. Plants. And lest we forget, do not let your guard down around the plants. I had discovered a wonderful collection of giant flowers. They were bright pink and grew in a circle around a central stalk. Even I can see where this is going. What an aroma! I lack the words to describe how delectable it was. Sweet, fruity, and light with just a hint of something tangy. Looking closer, I saw some berries growing on the stalk in the center of the flowers. Well, I just had to have them. So I started pushing my way through the flowers. Then the vines growing around the base of the plant began to twitch and the blooms turned towards me. It was at that moment I saw the blooms weren't actually flowers, but hinged jaws. I had been fooled by its camouflage. I quickly retreated, pushing my way back out, just in time. The blooms slammed shut. If I had still been standing there trying in vain to reach the berries, I wouldn't be writing this book today. That's almost an exact description of a smaller version of that same plant that's in Final Fantasy XIV. It's in the lower level area of the forest, and like when it's sleeping, it burrows itself underneath the ground, and the only part that's there is like the ring of flowers that's the outside of its mouth, and then its stalk, which is kind of like a tongue. It looks very similar, and when you smack it, it jumps up and goes nyum at you. Oh, there's so many books. I'm having a heyday reading all this stuff. I really am. Like, I didn't read a lot of the stuff in Death Stranding because I, I skimmed through it. I don't know. Fantasy and sci-fi. Fantasy feels like you need more of the deep lore to understand what's going on a little bit more. Sci-fi is more like, well, we got thrown into it. Let's see what the fuck's going on with our own two eyes. The Great Western Stag. One day, Aothas was sitting on a wall, watching a cat play in the sun. A crystal hung in a nearby tree had fragmented a sunbeam and scattered small motes of light on the ground. They danced around the cat, sliding over him as he frantically batted at them. He spun in place, following one as it rushed past him, and leapt on it, trying to pin it down. Eothas smiled, amused at the animal's tenacity. The cat landed on a spot, placing his paws over it, only to watch it flit away again. Eothas watched the cat's tail twitch and slap at the ground, annoyed that his prey could not be pinned. Why must you tease him? A voice said from behind him, accompanied by the crunch of sandals on gravel. I merely bring the dawn, Eothas responded. I don't stoke the hunter's heart. That is your responsibility, isn't it? True, said a second voice, but neither do you quell it. If the hunter could not see his prey, would he still hunt? So philosophical, Hylia, Eothas said, and turned to greet the two gods that approached him. Have you come to debate the parallel between sight and desire? He gestured to the wall, inviting Hylia and Galawain to join him. They sat in silence, watching the cat, who continued to hunt the sun, fruitlessly swatting at another mote and then rolling onto his back. I have created the ultimate prey, Eothas said finally, breaking the silence. It can be tracked, it can be followed, it can be seen, but it can never be caught. Galawain laughed lightly. You don't agree, Galawain? Eothas asked. While it's true that your creation is elusive, it hardly can be considered the ultimate prey because it never can be caught. He paused, his brow furrowed in thought. If that mote of light had substance, the hunter could subdue it. Otherwise, it's merely a dream. Truly a fruitless endeavor. All creatures spend their lives chasing fruitless endeavors, said Hylia. It is the way of mortality. Galawain laughed again. I could create a creature, a living creature of flesh and blood, that could never be caught. I make your dream a reality. Now it was Eothas' turn to laugh. You propose turning a fruitless dream into a fruitless reality. How is this any better? A life spent in the pursuit of an attainable goal far exceeds any other. But you just said no one could catch this creature. This is not attainable. Galawain smiled. Humanity has surprised us before. Indeed, it could surprise us again. I will create a great white stag, and I will set it free in the world. It will have grace, resilience, and tenacity. It will exist solely to be pursued for all its days, and it will never be caught. It will serve to inspire the hunt for generations to come. All those who wish for glory will invoke my name. All those who hear its story will ask for my blessing in finding it. Hylia shook her head and threw Galawain a bemused look. I do not believe this is possible, so I too make an offer. To the person who catches the stag, and they will catch the stag, I will bestow upon them its grace, resilience, and tenacity. Thrice blessed they will be. They will ask for my blessing on the hunt so they can attain my boon. Galawain and Hylia took up arguing whose name will be invoked more when the hunt was on. Eothas sighed, a small smile playing at the edges of his mouth. He stood and looked at the sky. The sun had already started to hide itself behind the mountains. The cat, long ago tired of stalking the moats, had fallen asleep beneath the tree. He turned and looked at the other gods, deep in debate, and sighed again. I merely bring the dawn, he repeated as he made his way down the path. It is up to you to see what I reveal. I'm gonna need more water. I feel like my reading is putting you to sleep, my love. Oh good, my Twitch export finally went through. Nothing is lost to search for Ukaizo. Excerpt. Come read this word for me so I know how to say it. I always read it wrong. Excerpt. Thank you. I read it excript every time, and I'm like, I know that's not right because that's not how the letters are, but I don't know how to say it. Excerpted from the collected journals of Wanamora Wavechaser. The Ranga's men came to collect my portion of prize share this morning, and I had nothing to give them again. I make no money for the tribe, though I am always in my little ferry boat, Grey Gull, carving through the waves. At night I get no sleep. Waiataro asked me to conserve the lamp oil to come to bed, but I can't, not until I find it. I know it's out there, the lost city of Ukaizo. On every chart and map of the dead fire I've found, whether Huana, Valian, Ruatarian, Ruatayan, there is a gap. An empty space where so much of our history should be. Did it burn to ash and cinders in the cataclysm? Did it sink below the waves? Does Nagati clutch it to her breast at the bottom of the sea? Perhaps it's lost and wandering, like me, unmoored, looking for a home it can't remember. But for, but for which some insistent longing burns in its chest, an ember always smoldering, a little fire to push it on. Waitaro wants me to give up, but how can I? On mornings when the sky is so clear I can hardly catch my breath for the beauty of it, I think I see it out there, shimmering in the brightening blue light. Is it a taunt or a beckoning? Would I be able to tell the difference? I ask the fisher folk when they return with their catch at sunset. Tibere, I say, did you see anything? Or you, Maybori? How about you, Puria? They avoid me now. Waiataro says they're busy, but I know they think I'm tide-sick and sun-addled. The way Puria's lips curled in disgust when I approach. The way Tibere's eyes seem to see right through me. I know. They won't have to suffer me much longer because tomorrow I'm taking Grey Gull and sailing north. Someone has to chase the old tales, so I will. Annals of the Pargrunen. It was in the time of Ediril the Sure-footed that we came to I haven't heard that pronounced out loud yet, so I'm going to do my best. Cleoban Ryleg? An ancient place of the builders, as the locals called them. It was a marvelous sight, a door in the mountain framed by a pair of ghoulish aspects. Through some exercise of trickery or cunning, Edrahil was able to gain access for our scholars that we might observe and record what lay inside. We discovered a foundry of sorts, the like of which neither we nor our distant brethren had seen. Through careful observation we surmised that the ancients had used this place to extract souls and transfer them to suits of armor. Delicate and challenging work, yet the scale they had achieved left us humbled and astounded. Perhaps most remarkable were the golems, living suits of armor powered by essence. We lost 2 of our fellows when the creatures caught us unawares, but once we'd subdued them, they proved quite fascinating. All too aware that our hosts will never again allow us, nor other curious travelers, to visit this place, we took meticulous notes and measurements of all we saw, forsaking bread and sleep until our work was done. We reported all to Edril, whereupon he praised our work and urged us quickly forward. For if such a place lay abandoned in the forest, who can say what other mysteries God and kith have left in this strange and wild land? On the fire-forged path, the travels of Jarek Gilton? The book is well worn and smells faintly of mildew. Its spine is cracked and as you thumb through the book's pages, it falls open to a folio more ragged and dog-eared than the others. Though I was born and raised Magronite, and a Magronite now I will stay, as a young man I undertook a pilgrimage to visit a holy house dedicated to every god. In so doing I hoped to know them each the better, to take what they had to teach and sow it into my soul like so many seeds, that my soul might grow and bear only the most delectable fruit for my goddess to devour at the moment of my death. So it is with no small amount of amusement that I pen this account of my visit once to a church of Oil, the many-eyed, many-tongued god of dreams and secrets, revelations and mysteries, and reveal to you all I learned there. The challenge came first in finding adherents to Wales' doctrine, for they are not often ones to announce their presence, preferring instead to build their flock from the solitary seekers, who delve through ancient ruins and ruined archives in search of the strange, the bizarre, the forgotten. But persistence is my goddess's first teaching, and find them I did. The Whale-lights Nekatakan congregation was small then, as it likely remains now, and on the morning I stumbled upon them, they were lounging like so many cats in the sun on the steps above the Queen's berth, sharing between them a bottle of arak and pipes packed with white leaf and ripple sponge. I knew them for waylights, not for any badge or robe or trinket they wore, not for their race or age, but for the ardor of their debate on the most benign of topics. I begged that they take me to their church and permit me to worship with them, and they laughed as one, their many voices like the howling of wild dogs. They acquiesced when I told them of my quest, and then invited me to sit and share their drink. I did, and as the arak burned a trail of fire down my throat, they showed me the dimensions of their hall of worship. The stairs were their pews, they said, the blue sky their ceiling, and their walls the edges of the world. All of creation sits within its bounds. As morning neared midday, they stood as one and began to climb the mountain. Where do you go now? I asked. To worship, they replied. A great wave of relief washed over me, for at last I would have my lesson from them. We climbed the many steps of Nekataka and arrived at last in the sacred stair. Where is your temple? I asked, and in response they whooped like children, rushing past me in a squall of smoke and laughter. I followed as best I could, though I wet my good slippers in a stream and could hardly keep my feet on the moss-slick stones as we surged, soggy-footed and hollering, into the temple of Quan. To worship, they cried. We shoved past dawn stars, bent in praise of their macabre god, laughing all the while, and came to stand before a leafless tree whose boughs were hung in lanterns too numerous to count. I had nary a moment to catch my breath before the whale-lights were clambering into the great tree's branches. A young man pulled me up with one hand and handed me a pipe with the other. The priests of Gon screeched and wailed, and all the while we squawked like birds, our smiles wide and eyes alight with arak and lantern fire. The Mataru came soon after to chase us away, but not before we'd done our share of singing to the many-eyed, many-tongued god of dreams. Would that I could have stayed with them a while longer, but alas, I could not deny my soul its journey, nor the whispers of my goddess in my ear. I took again to the road in search of churches, but I must admit, ever after, I longed always after for that tree. Forgot there was experience points. Collected annals of Lengrath. Whoever copied this work appears to have been in a great hurry, as if they feared being caught. The gods strip us of who we are on every turn about the wheel, mercilessly shaving off all we've learned with their divine lathes. We retain the pale shadow of our souls, but knowledge, memory, self, all of it is cut away. Do the gods fear we might someday rival their strength if they do not? The trees of Aer Glanfath possess souls as strong as any kith, and their entangled roots extend for miles. But dig beneath any of them, follow those roots, and you'll see they don't end but lead to a neighbor. They're many souls sharing one body. Why shouldn't willing kith be able to do the same? A limb may be grafted from one tree to the trunk of another, and in time they'll bear sweeter fruit together than either might have alone. Mightn't it be possible, then, to graft a scion's soul to the root stock of a willing kith? The souls wouldn't fracture, but coalesce. They'd grow stronger together. The gods see fractured souls, but they don't care for them. Damaged, broken people are abandoned by their makers to twist in the wind, given no succor, no relief. Would an intentionally fractured soul be similarly inconsequential to them? I will use their apathy against them. I will make their disdain serve me. A grafted soul is obscured from the sight of the gods. It spreads freely like a blood fever, but doesn't kill its host. No, I will be a fever of the spirit, invisible, unstoppable, eternal. That doesn't sound like a good thing. Drywood. Part 5. Proliferation of Animancy. Animancy, outlawed while under Aedir rule, was technically no longer taboo after Hadrat's rebellion. Academics began its study again in earnest in 2681 AI. By 2697 AI, there was almost 40 academics actively researching the field, both in the Direwood and the Vilain republics. Even though no significant results had been discovered, a tragic breakthrough of sorts happened in 2704 AI. An animancer working in Balreach accidentally shattered the souls of about a dozen volunteers who had been helping him. In retaliation for the deaths, the citizens of the area stormed his house and killed him. The Earl of the region, not wanting to waste resources or anger the locals any more than they already were, did nothing to find the head of the vigilante mob, but neither did he outlaw animancy. To ensure their own safety, most animancers moved from the rural areas where they were studying and settled in Defiance Bay, many of them choosing the emerging and wealthy district of Brackenbury as their new home of operations. While there were still a few breakthroughs and the study of animancy continued for the next 24 years, it quickly slowed as it became cost prohibitive and complicated the more people learned about it. Most animancers couldn't afford to continue research without the support of donations or gifts from wealthy individuals and organizations. In 2737 AI, some animancers, desperate to continue their studies and seeing no other means of furthering their research, entered the forbidden ruins of Ir Galanfath to further their research. They discovered some such sites had strange artifacts that seemed to bear affinity to soul essence, and began to prod at the devices for further insight. Even with continued research, they are unable to tell quite what they have discovered. Eventually, they were found out by the Galanfathans, who captured some of them, demanding that they be punished for their crimes. The Direwooden authorities, in order to maintain their treaties and keep the peace, had no choice. They allowed the animancers to be executed according to Galanfathan tradition. This led the Duke to make an additional proclamation: the study and practice of animancy on, or even near, the sacred Glanfathan sites would be punishable by death. In 2780 AI, in order to solidify relations again with the Glanfathans, the Direwooden government allowed some animancers to begin training and experiments in conjunction with the Glanfathan mind hunters, their native ciphers. This was an exchange of information. The animancers documented the secrets of the mind hunters' powers. The mind hunters learned new techniques for concentration, which assisted them in taking their powers to a level no Glanfathan had ever seen before. The ciphers, no longer wary of the animancers' intentions, trusted them to such a level that they convinced the Glanfathans to give some animancers limited access to some of the training sites where the Glanfathans practiced. The Animfaths of the... I'm just going to say G tribes opened the training grounds to the animancers. They were not allowed inside, as this was still strictly forbidden, but the general allowances by the G were seen as breakthrough in relations between the Direwood and the Glanfath. Good lord, those words are hard. The names. Over the next 8 years, the Animancer's research would continue unimpeded. With the exception of some minor squabbles, there has been no major strife between the two groups for almost 120 years since. So many mouthfuls. That's what she said moment. Yeah, Eodasian prayer. And the sun shall break through the darkness, the new dawn arriving with the rebirth of the day. Rejoice, all ye who dwelleth in the shadow, who are broken and beaten. The winter soon comes to an end. Spring shall rise, bringing light and life to the world. Radiant light, radiant life, and thy soul shall find warmth in his arms. All creatures bask in his glory, the rays of his countenance bathe the world. Bringing an end to the night, ushering in the day, kneel before him and wonder at his benevolence, feel the warmth of his radiant presence. If thou art broken, he shall make thee whole. If thou art in darkness, he shall bring thee to the light. If thou art sinful, thou shalt be reborn. If thou art cold, his warmth shall bolster thee. How can I, so lowly and worn, speak words of proper adulation? This is a song. Or at least it reads like a song. I just obviously don't know how it's sung. Thine eyes whose gaze sees in the sin in me, yet still shows love. Thine hands whose grip pulls me out of darkness. Thine ears listening to my every prayer. Thine heart bright as the dawn, giving me warmth when I am raw. Eothas, light of spring, sun of the world, thou givest me light and purpose. Thine heart be black if thine intentions be impure. Thy life is forfeit, for he hath seen, he can see, he will see. Nothing is hidden from his glory. His light touches every corner of the world. Nothing is hidden from his sight. If thou dost thy work in the dark, if thou wouldst keep thine actions hidden, thou shalt be burdened by the sun of the new dawn. Day comes soon, prepare for the dawn. Nothing is hidden from his reach. Statue schematic. Drawing details plans for the creation of a large statue powered by essence. The essence is intended to be injected into the statue by an array of animantic devices. Where such a vast store of essence might come from and what a statue could do with it is unclear. I think this is the last book in this room. I found a library and I'm happy about it, but my mouth is getting very dry, even with drinking. The Life and Discoveries of Pangrim. Mention the name Pangrim to anyone with even a passing knowledge of animancy, and you could find yourself in for a very long discussion. Publicly reviled but privately lauded as a hero and genius, Pangrim's history is at turns revolutionary, horrific, and mysterious. Pangrim was fascinated, some might say obsessed, with the concept of animancy. It consumed his life as he dedicated everything to understand it. He would frequently travel to Ir Glanfeth and the Direwood to visit the Ingwithan ruins. There he would take notes and make sketches, bringing anything back with him that he could to help him unlock the mysteries. After years of study, Pangrim had reached the point where he could no longer conduct research on his own, and he took on an assistant, Helg of Thean. Soon, Helig of Thean. Soon, Helig was making trips to Ir Glanfith in Pangrim's stead, gathering knowledge while Pangrim stayed behind to experiment. The partnership quickly bore fruit, and Pangrim made a breakthrough. A bake through. He's baking! One that would irrevocably change his life and the general attitude about animancy forever. While the specifics of his experimentation will never truly be known, the rumors and stories that still circulate tell that he had sent out inquiries asking for live subjects for help with a dangerous experiment that might change their life or might end it. Those who were already dying were especially encouraged to apply. The response was overwhelming, and Pangram had his pick of numerous willing bodies. That is when he had his breakthrough. He discovered a way to fix the soul, anchoring it to its body, so it couldn't leave at death. He had discovered eternal life. His research and his life's work had resulted in the greatest single discovery that animancy could hope for. His findings were published and quickly spread through Vialia and beyond. While some groups, the Wodekin Church for example, decried his work as nothing more than blasphemy and heresy, many put it to practice. Everyone wanted the chance at immortality. But everything comes with a cost. It quickly became apparent that simply restraining the soul while keeping the person technically alive was doing nothing for the body, which continued to decay, devolving and warping the soul now trapped inside it. The creatures it created were dangerous, carnivorous beasts that killed brutally and indiscriminately. Backlash was ruthless. The practice of Pangram's discoveries was outlawed. His works were collected and burned. He and Halig were branded heretics and hunted. Chased from town to town until Pangram simply vanished. Halig was tracked down, captured, and brought to trial for the atrocities committed against Vialia and its people. The trial was barely more than a formality to bring charges against him, as everyone knew what hand he had played in the disaster. He was sent to prison for years, but eventually released once public outrage died down. Not long after his parole, he disappeared as well. Occasionally, talk surfaces that a copy of Pangram's theorems has been found, untouched by the purging flames that destroyed its brothers. These rumors seldom end up being more than that. Many groups and wealthy individuals have formed, sending out a call to anyone who will listen. Find us a copy of the theorems. They offer gold, jewels, status, anything they can to entice adventurers to help them achieve their goals. For there are those who would give anything a chance at immortality, even become a monster. Yeah.
Here it comes.
Thank you, good sir. Completely forgot I was in a cave for a minute.
6 years in Dawnshore, and I never knew something this big was under our feet the whole time.
A year, dudes. Ah. Oh, they're much further along. Never mind. Oh, look, another book! Also, there's more treasure somewhere. Purification of the Pilgrim. I hope that in coming to this place, standing before the splinter, and turning my mind to prayer, that I would feel something, that I would experience the solace the other godlike speak of, the state that they call grace. But my dreams remain as silent as this eerie godless tomb, and I am ashamed to feel so lonesome and bereft. To truly love the gods is to be faithful to the void. That is what the oracle tells me. If I look outside of myself to the here and now for that which I desire, that I will always remain unsatisfied. I must go down into myself, into the still white emptiness, to discover that I already have everything I need. The many voices of wail I wish would whisper in my ear, even if had I heard them, they would not be evidence of their love. That evidence persists already in my soul, in the void to which I have not been true, and it has from the moment they plucked my soul from the wheel and gave it into my body to be born. It is the chime that is the evidence of their love. And if that is all I ever have of them, then I should fall to my knees in gratitude, for it is more than most kith will get. But to know this solace that I seek, then I must give up any desire for their love and learn to love the void. Okay.
You're mine now.
Woo! Eh. Ooh, wait, hold on. Hold on. I saw the makings of a puzzle there. Hold on a second.
Dreamscourge ahead. I hate to think it reaches all the way down here.
Thorns beside violets, essence twisted out of shape.
Where's the shiny? I think the Dream Scourge might be the shiny. Okay, hold on. Let's see.
Repose, a pulse beating out of time. Should it be disturbed?
Consecration prayer. This leaving of his precious body, we commemorate our most glorious God with all his saints. Let us commend ourselves to one another and our whole life to Aeolus, the Dawn Treader. For this holy house and for those who enter it with faith, reverence, and fear of our God, we consecrate this temple in his name. Aeolus, have mercy on our souls. Okay.
If it weren't for the creepy oracle and the invading roots, this place would be kinda nice.
Right? Thank you. I didn't touch you, baby. I'm sorry it was itchy. Okay.
There's the relic. Can't be as easy as just grabbing it. That must have opened something.
Yeah, I'm gonna not touch the relic for a second. For a second, anyway. Thank you, friend. Grab the relic in a moment. Unless I'm supposed to blow up this wall right here. There is an explosive barrel right here. So, maybe? No. Also no. Oops. Also no. It's just right there.
You take lead.
Trying to see. Um. No? Okay, well. Okay. Oh.
No one said anything about tight spaces.
I figured it out. The pots are breakable. History of the Living Lands. Redacted. Every page of this book has been painted black except for the very last, which features a large drawing of an unusually ornate key and a note written in the runes of an unknown language beneath them. Someone has scribbled, "How do their agents keep finding my work? They've already defaced 3 versions of this volume alone. I don't know excuse me, what they find so objectionable about my theories on the meaning of the godless language. But I'm done rewriting it. You bastards win. No more." The note above has been amended by a more measured hand, likely some time after the first note was written. I've compared my notes regarding the inscription from Ukaizo with the script on the intact clay tablet in my lab, and realize they share several shapes in common. I may be able to make some headway in translating this if I can find an expert in Godless. Another amendment follows, but that too has been mostly blacked out. Near the end of the redaction, the paint suddenly runs off the edge of the page, and a splash of blood stains the margins. All you can make out is a pair of shaky sentences circled several times. Yes, could that mean God?
Oh no, you.
I figured it out. I feel so smart. I am getting tired from reading all of this.
False ID. It waits.
Something's moving in the main chamber. Take it back. One for you. Nothing like a win with the team.
Oop. I'm stuck!
Watch the left.
Ooh, shit! I just crit struck that guy. Alright, that works.
Next one's mine. Who's ready for more?
Cool. I cannot believe I killed that guy so quickly. Arda. Yay! Oh, I wasn't done with that. Thank you for your vessel bones, my good sirs. I didn't think that that was the way we were supposed to be going, but okay. Oh, shit.
That earthquake must have knocked something loose. Well, better a flood than a cave-in.
Okay. Wait. That's not where I wanted to go. I want to go underneath here. Methinks the trees are helping a little. A little, anyway. It's very purple down there. Sorry, Kai. I think I got both of us on accident there, buddy.
Something's not right here. Take a look around.
Agreed. Oh, shit. I'll loot that in a second. I have a feeling that the bodies are going to come back to life here in a second. On the Binding of Souls. Most likely, then. Ugh. The margins of this text are scribbled with notes and references. The ink-stained pages appear to have seen much use in earlier times. The removal and transference of souls is a practice both ancient and sophisticated. There is evidence that the Angwithans were particularly adept at this, yet few details have survived them. Someone scrawled Annals of Pergrunen, page 382-6 below this paragraph. What is known that the removal of a soul is a difficult process and one that requires an expert hand and precise tools for any chance of success. Early attempts on a test pool of 138 goats left most of the subjects with maimed or fractured souls. In all but 2 of the 11 instances where the soul was successfully removed, the essence dissipated before scholars could capture it. The word transfer to holding vessel are written and underlined in the margin. The process requires conductive materials, copper and arda specifically. Immersion in water is important to ensure that the soul is drawn in a steady, uniform manner, with no distortions or breakages. A warped soul is at best useless and at worst unpredictable. An arrow points from this paragraph to a scrunched note extraction pool in CR 18 feet wide by 3 feet deep. We have since mastered the process of soul transference and have seen the benefits of infusing forged work with the essence of animals and wilder. What remains to be seen is whether we might see greater gains from using the souls of Kith, where we would procure an appropriate subject. Where we would procure the appropriate subjects and how much personality and autonomy we would want to leave intact in such cases. A string of notes winds around and below this paragraph, beginning with criminals, prisoners of war, volunteers, and ending with forge guardians in block letters. These notes are crossed out and below them is written, but what of the divine soul? That's a forge. Oh boy, I'm pretty sure I know what happened here. Jada's journal. New orders came down for Darren today. We're to be sent to the Living Lands. The diplomatic corps has established an embassy in the port of Paradis, and they need support cataloging the unusual ruins there. No doubt it will take months, perhaps a year or 2 at the very least. I had promised Rudwin I'd be in High Crown to celebrate Anestu with him and the children, especially since it'll be Miri's coming of age, but how often are you given the opportunity to lay the foundation of study for a previously undiscovered ancient culture? I'm sure he'll understand. And Miri, well, I think my daughter will be glad I'm gone. It's not like the gods are making new continents. The world is getting smaller every day. It always seems as though the moment I finally get my sea legs, we're pulling into harbor. A charming harbor it is, despite what Darren told me, and not nearly so dangerous as the clerks in High Crown warned. I swear on the Queen, half my countrymen resent any city that isn't the Emperor's purely on principle. There was a letter waiting for me when I arrived at the embassy. I suppose Rudwin sent it before I left. The cowards filed for dissolution of our marriage, but he couldn't muster the stones to tell me to my face. Let him assume it never arrived, for I certainly won't dignify it with a reply. This whole episode has given me a blinding headache, a horrible pinching sensation right behind the eyes. We've had a few days to settle into life at the embassy while the powers that be argue about how best to make use of us. While I was resting, the ambassador's clerk took the scouts to some dreadful little swill house in a rough part of town. Naturally, a couple of the younger lads poisoned themselves with alcohol. The mother in me wants to be furious, but I can hardly muster the energy. As long as Offric's voiding his stomach in the canals and instead of the bunkhouse, it's not my business after all. I think I'll take the team to Fort Northreach, see if we can't help the archivist identify the purpose of the godless ruins there. Blessed New Year, the team acquitted themselves well at the fort. With Cadman's help, I was able to get down into the basement of the ruins there and take a good look at the construction. Naturally, I left the notes I took at the fort. I feel like I can hardly even think these days, but I believe I remember enough of what I learned to write a satisfactory report for the ambassador. Could those ruins have been the site of a fertility temple? I mean, goodness, look at the shape of their buildings. The Steel Garrote Inquisitor attached to the embassy has uncovered rumor of a holy relic in a cave here in Dawnshore, and she suggested we might want to investigate. I know I should be eager to go down there to explore, but I've hardly been able to get out of my bedroll since we've returned to Paradis. I'll bet there's a curse tablet with my name on it that Rudwin's installed at the Temple of Skaen back in High Crown. Nothing else could explain the hideous nightmares I've been having. Mushrooms erupting from my skin, my eyes replaced by quivering stalks, Miri turning into a tree, Rudwin splitting in hair and opening like a flower. No matter what drug I take or which god I pray, they refuse to go away. I collapsed while we were gearing up in the market, and none of the merchants would help me off the ground. One of them muttered something about a soul plague and ran off to tell his mates. I tried to tell the man I wasn't sick, just going through a divorce, but I couldn't speak. It was like my tongue had turned to mud. The Inquisitor pulled me aside when the boys got me back to the embassy. She was able to press locals for more about the relic. Apparently, it was taken from Eothas's Titan skeleton, the very one I made my reputation discovering, and it's well known for its ability to heal anyone who holds it. I cannot delay any longer. I must find it.
Well, we found the expedition. Looks like they've only been dead a few hours. But how did they get in here? They can't have come the same way we did. We swam here. What's stranger is there's not a scratch on them. No sign of what killed them. It's like every member of the expedition team just collapsed.
So much reading this episode. I'm enjoying it, but my mouth is so dry. I apparently have history. Okay. They remind me of the bodies of the godlikes who died a few years ago. Do you think the Oracle could have killed them? The plans in the Oracle's workshop were too complicated for it to be a simple statue. I think we're gonna go this one.
You think he's building a what? Giant animat? I've heard of those, but I've never seen one. They're suits of armor brought to life by bound souls, right? The Oracle couldn't have put the expedition's souls in the statue of Aethys, right?
Did the Oracle's plan have something to do with Aethys vanishing at Ukaizo?
There's still a lot of debate over what even happened at Ukaizo. Perhaps the Oracle knows the truth, or perhaps he's just as lost as we are. Aethys is a dangerous god associated with Eora's bloodiest wars, and he recently killed thousands of people in Deadfire. Now we have a piece of him, and we're about to face a maniac who wants it desperately. Tread carefully.
Uh-huh. There's a shiny over here. Ugh. Fine. I could not break that pot to save my life. How dare? Okay. I didn't like that.
Why has he come here? Why does he build the idol in this place?
That is not the button I wanted. That'll work. I said unbar, please. Thank you. Oh. All of that was underneath his room. Well, or I guess technically his room was in there, and we went all around the long ass way to do something
Even
about
the
it.
blood could not stop him. Fealty or sickness?
I don't know what this guy's capable of, but I've got your back.
Thank you.
There you are. I worried for you when the earth shook.
Lies like wasps.
You have been gone some time.
Yeah, sure
Do
have.
you carry the splinter of Aethys?
There was an earthquake while I was at the temple.
Yes, the earthquakes. And the roots that seem to always accompany them. They are not a new occurrence, I'm afraid. This land has always had an unstable quality to it. But it has worsened in recent years. Grown violent. Is it my work the land abhors? Is it the arrival of your Emperor's soldiers? Or are these tremors merely the convulsions of this island's lone volcano? You will need the scientific minds of Emerald Stair to tell you, for I certainly cannot say. Whatever the cause, the disturbances are getting worse. I fear this whole place could collapse at any moment.
I found the bodies of the expedition team in your workshop. Did you kill them?
I did not expect you to be so thorough in your explorations. Nevertheless, I am impressed. As to whether I killed them, well, that is a matter of semantics. Does death occur the moment the heart ceases beating, or when the soul is broken upon the wheel? In one sense, then they are quite dead. In another, they remain very much alive. In either case, they have entered a state of change, and the impetus was mine.
You're going to put their souls in the statue, aren't you?
Yes, you and you alone see my purpose clearly. You see, I have given them the opportunity to be part of something larger than themselves. With your help, I shall give them a new commission. To prosecute the redemption of a god.
By making them
by
prisoners?
making them jailers.
Why? What could possibly be the point?
You've trapped them in there.
What is the source of all suffering? Our division from God. Not our division from them, no, but their division from us. It is a wound the size of the soul, yet it gapes as large as the world. If we are to alleviate suffering, if the gods, if Aethys is to atone, we must give him a mortal consciousness. We must give him a mortal conscience. Or the atrocities of the Deadfire and the Saints' War will be but preludes to the horrors he will sow across Aora. Even the Redeemer needs redemption. Even the gods must be held to account. Aethys must be stopped.
You expect to redeem
Do you
Aethys.
carry the relic I asked you to collect?
Yes.
Excellent. The relic you have retrieved was stolen from Aethys's body. He is bound to it, or it to him. And before the events at Ukaizo, he would speak to me through it. He speaks to me no longer, but I believe he resonates with the splinter yet, as I do. If I am correct, when it is placed in the statue, the magnifying power of the Ardra will draw him into it, and he will be trapped. Locked into the reliquary with a chorus of furious souls acting as his conscience. He will finally begin the work of making right all the wrong he has done. All that is left is for you to place the splinter into the statue's chest. Will you do it?
What will happen to you if your god abandons his domain in the beyond?
I cannot say. But when I return to the wheel, I pray I do not see Aethys there, for it will mean that I have failed. You see, my sister, you must understand. I am willing to endure a life of greatest loneliness, so that he may repent.
Okay.
Look, I'm all for
Thoughts?
second chances, but restoring the god who started the Saints' War and left a trail of corpses in Deadfire? Even I can see that's a bad idea. And I can't imagine a worse fate than spending an eternity as one of those poor souls stuck with him. I've heard I can change him before.
There's no way this will work.
Aethys is weak, if he persists at all. He expended tremendous soul energy manifesting in the body of Moros Nua and marching it across the Deadfire. By the time he reached Ukaizo, he was spent, and used the very last of his power to destroy the wheel. The god that is left is but a wisp of purpose, floating through the beyond. It is that wisp I will capture.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I see. Why?
Killed innocent people?
Then I shall simply take the splinter from your corpse.
I was trying to avoid fighting you. So be it.
Here we go. Why couldn't he have just stuck to sculpture?
Hear us. Follow us. We would speak to you.
I hear you. Where am I going? Crystal! She popped up out of nowhere.
We sense weight on you. Essence. Yes, we know this melody. A part of the statue, a piece that yearns for its true place. Combine them. Join soul into body. Let it sing for us.
Why do you want to finish the statue?
Dreams in colors we have never seen. Would we use it? We cannot know. It must be complete.
Will something happen if I do that?
Feast? Famine? We could not say. The Adra dulls our mind. We sense an acorn. Possibility.
Okay.
What will bloom? We await.
Hey, envoy. Back with us?
Yeah. What the fuck was that?
Dawnshore is most people's first view of the living lands, and last brush with civilization.
He is gone, but he's still with me. From what form should a reliquary take that is fit to hold the splinter? If I were in High Crown excuse me. If I were in High Crown still, I would petition the church for ivory, gems, and gold, for this remnant of his holy body is worth all the wealth of the empire and more. Being as I am sequestered here, I will make do instead with the wealth of the land. Granite from the tallest peaks, clay from the fertile river beds, and trunks from the most aged trees. Must work without ceasing until it is done. The memory of my lord cannot endure delay. He is beginning to take shape. I thought at first a sanctuary would be appropriate, a temple within this temple of the godless, but when I prayed over my plans for the building's construction, I received a vision of Aethys Titan as it had existed in its time, a body of strange flesh and bone, hundreds of feet tall, astride the land with a pantheon at his side, facing down the forces of chaos like 11 colossal ships of the line. What crisis manifested them and inspired them to act, I know not, but I shall remake him as he was in my own fashion. He is complete, but the statue I have made is inert, lifeless, dull. The work of my hands does not dignify the splinter. There is something deficient in it, and in me. I must destroy it and begin again. He is made anew. His effigy is formed from granite, clay, and wood still, but they shelter now a precious Adra core. It glimmers even in the low light of the cavern's ceaseless evenings. He brings dawn to this penumbral place as the light of his attention once brought to my soul. In the Empire, they celebrate spring dawn today, or they would have prior to the Saints' War. I wonder what of him remains in the beyond after his disillusion at Kazo. I long to be with him again. Ugh. I have cat hair on my nose, and like, I think I get it, and then it's back. What if I do not have to wonder? I didn't really want to kill him. I don't...
A home for a heart. We would speak to you. a host, form-given life. One day when we are free, we could return here, dwell in this body, feel the earth again. But it is a sprout, fragile. It must sleep here undisturbed. A secret you could keep. Tell us, will you give us this gift?
So far, you haven't given me a reason not to trust you. If I let you have it, what will you do with it?
We are not sure. Could we touch the world? Walk in the ocean? Sift our fingers through sand?
How will you claim it?
A shard of Adra tethers it to us. Yet it is weak. A quagmire of essence occludes its veins. If we had time to tend it, perhaps we could find a way.
I don't even know what you are. Why should I trust you with it?
This prison holds us, silences us. The years fade like leaves. We have no memory of summer, warm fire, soothing rain. We could walk gently in this body, tend, grow, learn anew. But we must claim it.
Okay. I wanted to see if it would give me the bad ending and take care of the souls in it.
Vessel to hold us. We will remember this. The Adra strains. It aches, a choking barricade of souls. Essence like mud, we cannot swim here. It must be flushed out. Free this obstruction. Then, when our prison bars fall, we will see.
Okay. Pull a lever at the workstation. Can we track not that one, please? That one's the one I want tracked right now, please. Thank you. Wait, A. No, B.
New earth to till, new flower. We rest now. We must consider this.
Okay, so we flushed the souls out? Is that what happened? I mean, it said the essence was wrong and that it needed to be flushed out, so... And it said something about, like, if you told him... In the wiki, it said that if you told him that you would put the thing in there, at first it doesn't work, and then, like, you do a thing and it ends up killing you. And it doesn't work because it's not a godlike soul or something like that. So, anyway, the voice has the thing now, so we're gonna get to a save and call it. I got hit with the tired stick right before we started talking to that guy. Sleepy. I have been up for 19 hours straight. On pure spite. Because no, not spite. I'm just pure mom energy, I guess. I wanted to take a nap the same time that kiddo was going to be getting off the bus, and so hubby was falling out about then, so I told him to go lay down and take a nap. He took a nap from 3:30 to 6. I helped kiddo with her homework so she didn't have to do any on the weekend, and made dinner and worked for a little bit before stream. We did doctor's appointments and award ceremonies and grocery shopping, a whole bunch of stuff today.
Guess his work on that statue didn't leave much time for renovations.
St. Waiden's farmer become god. With the mention of the name Waiden, most folk think only one word, Godhammer. While this event echoes throughout the ages and is still felt years after the destruction of Evandor Bridge, Waiden's humble beginnings belie the powerful force he would grow into. Waiden lived an unassuming life in a remote area of Right across. Red Ceres? The son of Vorlus farmers, he toiled in the fields alongside his father for 22 years until his father's death. The farm then fell to him to run. He considered selling, but he had no other skills upon which to draw, so he set on the path of Vorlus farmer as well. Nothing of note was recorded in Wayden's life until 4 years after his father's death. One day, while working in the fields, Wayden's life was irrecoverably changed. In his words, night was falling, the fingers of dusk already gripping the sky. The sun had dipped behind the world's edge, and stars were peeking from beyond the shroud. The day was still, and darkness had blanketed the field. I placed my last harvest for the day in a collection pile, when from behind me arose a brilliant light. I turned, fear in my breast, knowing not what could have caused such intense radiance. Behind me stood a blazing figure, splendid in glory. Its white flesh glowed with a luminescent radiance, its head a blinding ball of light, brighter than the highest sun of mid-year. I averted my gaze, afraid I would be struck down for daring to gaze upon such a creature. A sudden peace watched over me, sweeping away my fear, leaving my troubled soul tranquil. A loving warmth wrapped its arms around me. A voice spoke to me as I stood transfixed, trying both to see this glorious being and avoid its dazzling scrutiny. Fear not, it said to me, for you are chosen above all others. You will be the light to bring about the rebirth of an empire. It then held out its hand and bestowed upon me a vision of power such that I could scarcely contain it. Wayden, disheveled and dirty, stumbled into his village the next morning, telling all who would listen about the miracle that happened in his fields. Aothas himself, he claimed, appeared to him. He was to punish the Adirian governor for leading his people into ruin. A way would be provided, and those faithful who helped would be blessed with the divinity manifested. Villagers ignored him, convinced the loss of his parents had broken his mind. But Wayden continued to preach of the power of Aothas and the corruption of the governor, eventually earning him the ire of the locals. His confrontations with the villagers hit a turning point one day in mid-autumn. The crowd had gathered around Wayden, jeering him and telling him to leave the village. The Vorlus crop that season was particularly light, and the villagers blamed Wayden, saying he had angered the gods, particularly Aothas, with his blasphemy. They backed him into one of the withered fields, yelling at him to go. Accounts of inciting action are hazy. Some say a stone was thrown, others say he was pushed, others still say he simply tripped over a dry root sticking up from the ground. Regardless of the cause, Wayden landed face down on the ground, the villagers standing over him laughing. Enough! A voice not Wayden's boomed across the field. Wayden looked up at the crowd, his eyes glowing with a blinding white light. He stood but did not stand. One moment he was on the ground, and the next he was standing before the crowd, who cowered before him. You dare deny me? The voice spoke through Wayden's mouth. You dare refuse my servant? Wayden's arms raised, beginning to luminesce. You dare require proof? His arms went out to his sides. Never ask again, lest you be burned in the light of the new dawn. There was a flash of light from Wayden's eyes and hands, and the entire field sprang to life. The once dried and brittle plants became full, lush, and verdant. The crowd was silent. From somewhere in the back came a call of praise, Aothas, and they all fell to their knees in front of Wayden, farmer turned god. Very good, farmer. The spine of the book bears a stamp designated as part of the reconstructed collection of the Halls Obscured. It appears to have been stolen. Every page is filled with closely packed writing and illustrations. One passage reads, Saint Wayden pursed his lips and stared down the glowing, glowering visage, which peered at him between the stalks of Vorlus. He gripped the wooden shaft of his scythe, slick with sweat from his palms, the hands of a working man, which he was. Then you're Aothas, then, he said. That I am, said the god. Then you already know what I want, said the farmer, who was Wayden. That I do. Wayden unknotted the taut cord which restrained his ponytail and let the flowering locks cascade around his shoulders and rest over the shelf of his bosom. He winked and cleared his throat before winking again. I'm not finishing reading this because that is that's fan fiction. That's fan fiction.
Never thought I'd be so relieved to see Paradise. For you!
Good shot.
Another win, but who's counting?
Not us, surely. Oh no, it was so much less laggy in the field. I'm gonna go over to that campsite.
Nice shot! Is that all you got? Right flank!
Oh man. I just want to get. I didn't mean to grab the spoiled apple, damn it. Soul pod, yeah. I just want to hit the camp, dudes. You be good, I be good. Found camp. Yay, yeah. Short, thanks. I'm not. I'm gonna save and we're gonna call it for the night. I'm done. Like really done. I'm so sleepy. I will see you guys tomorrow. We're making birria and chocolate cupcakes with chocolate frosting. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. Bye.